Hi, and welcome to Chamber Chat in the Inside Lowell Studios. I'm Danielle McFadden, president of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. Very excited to have our guest on with us today. I have Tom Strachan. He is the founder of Service Buddy, a new company. So exciting. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me, Danielle.
And do you prefer Thomas or Tom?
Tom's fine.
Tom. Okay. All right. I have Thomas written down,
Yeah.
and I automatically went Tom. That's my dad's name, so I went straight for the Tom.
When I'm in trouble, it's Thomas.
Oh, all right. You are
Tom
not in
next.
trouble with me, I promise. So you are new to the chamber,
Yep,
and Service Buddy is a new business.
yep.
So let's talk a little bit about your background and then why you started Service Buddy.
Yeah, great question. So originally from Massachusetts, went to school at 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗘𝗖𝗓𝗏.
Awesome.
After that, I got pretty lucky. I went to go work for a startup in Boston for about 5 years. And like most startups aren't successful, and this one was. So I was doing tech sales for them for about 5 years, and then really enjoyed it. Got experience with learning how to sell software, managing people, which is always important. And then I'm trying to think. After that, I went to go work for a small investment firm in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I was down there for 3 years, and that's really when I got super passionate about kind of starting my own thing.
Awesome. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And you have such a good background for everything that you're doing now.
Yeah, it was there really where, I was meeting with all these different entrepreneurs that were starting companies in like weird markets, like funeral home software, property management software. And, part of my job, what was really cool is just talking to all these people. And there was a lot of them. So after I was spent 3 years there, I went to go work at another private equity firm and then another family office. And that's when I was like, you know what, I need to make the jump and kind of start my own thing.
Yeah, that must have been a difficult decision, but I'm sure you're happy that you did it.
Yeah. It was kind of funny how it all happens. Like this is September of 2022. I was kind of looking to start my own thing, and I randomly found this business actually in the UK that was a field service software. So it's kind of what Service Buddy does now. And they had one customer, and it was like a high-end rug cleaning company. So I started talking to the customer. They had been using the software for about 5 years. It didn't look great. It worked well. And I kind of knew the market where I was like, you know what? I could either build something or I could buy, this business, the software, and rebuild it in a way where you could apply it to much more than just a rug company. You could apply it to landscapers or plumbers or electricians. So I ended up acquiring the software in September. And then since then, we have been completely rebuilding it, putting it on modern infrastructure, making the user experience just super easy.
Yeah.
And then we've been working with a handful of clients, since then, and announced the company a few weeks ago publicly to now we're going to really start selling it to, local businesses.
That's so exciting. And the look of it is great. So I'm sure, the whole experience is as well. I'm not, in that field, but I did cruise around the website and look at your social media, and it's very professional, but still like accessible.
Exactly. The person, that's using our software, they're super busy. It's got to be easy to use. It's got to look great, on a cell phone or a tablet or a computer. So we've really built it, that way.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So let's talk about Service Buddy.
Sure.
So I went on the website. I did my homework. But people can use Service Buddy for things like scheduling, customer management, quotes, billing and invoicing, which, we hear it from the chamber perspective for a small business, just sitting down in invoicing and collecting the money that you're owed is half the battle, right?
Exactly. And, when I started looking to get into this space, the one thing I really liked was all these different tradespeople were, for the most part, really good at whatever their job was. It's a whole nother thing to be good at running, a sound financial part of your business. And the ones that compare those, those two together can build something, pretty special. So we started talking with people. What we found was the vast majority of people had outstanding or late invoices. And it was a headache for them to kind of chase these people down. And all these businesses are super local. So like if you own a if you're a carpenter in Lowell, for example, and you're doing work at a house, your kids might be friends with the kids that live there. It's awkward to pick up the phone and say, hey, Jim, did you get my invoice?
Did you open my son's backpack? Your invoice is in there.
Exactly. Hey, you haven't paid me in, 90 days. And that's not unique. That happens all the time.
You're so right. Spot on.
Yeah. So we've built something that, it has a ton of features, but by far and away, what we help with the most is helping eliminate the unpaid invoices. So you can actually send, a branded professional invoice of whatever your business is, to the customer, and they can pay on their phone. That's pretty unique.
That is so unique. And I mean, I've, hired somebody for different things, and you get the paper invoice, and it's easy for somebody to say, I can't find it. It got lost. Can you send it? Yeah, let me resend it. And they either drop it off in the mailbox or put it in the snail mail. Yeah. This is instant. Yeah.
And then another thing we're working on, we're releasing fairly soon is, for sending a quote, for example, to a client, because it's the same whether it's a quote or an invoice. The ability to upsell your customer. So let's say, you're putting in, a new patio if you're a landscaper or something like that, adding additional things to your quote that your customer may want. Maybe they don't want it, but you're giving them the optionality of increasing that, that sale. It's so critical.
Can you send it to if it's a husband and a wife pair, can you send it to both of them?
You can,
the wife can be like, honey, I really want this. It's in my face. You can't deny.
Yeah, you have the ability to send them to different email addresses or different phone numbers. So
I highly recommend that trick if you're watching and you're in that industry.
Yeah.
And then we've kind of touched upon it a little bit, but the whole customer experience, right? What does Service Buddy do to help enhance that customer experience?
Yeah, totally. I think it varies for the trade, whether you're, like a plumber might have a lot of repeat customers. A handyman might have, mostly net new customers. It works well regardless. So if, the client or the customer experience, you can, it's a full CRM, meaning you have, your customer's name, their contact information, their property information, and you can communicate with them. You can, send them, quotes or invoices or just messages. You can text them.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I'm in the neighborhood if you need anything.
Exactly. Like, oh, Mom, we're on our way. We'll be there in 30 minutes.
Great.
It makes you look like a pro. And it's your end customer really enjoys it because I think everyone's been in that experience when, whether it's Comcast or somebody else is like, hey, we'll be there from, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's like, great.
Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. It's like, that doesn't help me. This provides your customer a really good experience. And we go even one step further with Service Buddy customers. We import a lot of their social media and Google Business and Yelp reviews. So after your job's done, very easily, you can automate this, is send a message to your customer. Hey, Danielle, I hope you enjoyed, our work today. If you wouldn't mind, giving us 5 stars. And it's a super easy text on their phone. They'll do it. And that's going to improve your SEO online. Yeah, more hugely. Customers are going to find you. So it's sort of a cycle that when you operate that way, it really helps you.
Yeah, and when you're doing these things like almost instantly in real time versus if you get an invoice out a month later and they say, would you mind giving us a review? Like at that point, I mean, people have lived a month.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's super critical to do it right after because the client's happy with whatever the work is you did. If they're not happy, maybe you don't send it to them. But for vast majority are going to give you that 5 stars right after.
That's great.
So.
And I like the ability to message too, because if you're, slower, you want to kind of prime the pump line. You can send something pipeline. Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Whatever. You all know what I'm talking about. And you talked about the CRM. So if somebody already has an existing platform or a list, maybe it's just an Excel spreadsheet. If they want to import their customers and clients into the Service Buddy, are they able to do that so that they're not one by one manually entering everything?
Yeah, that's super important. When I first bought the company, it was pretty elementary in terms of like what you could do with it. One of the new features that I rolled out was being able to just drag and drop your customer list and your contacts in there, and it will auto populate.
That's great.
Yeah, and it saves you a lot of time.
Yeah.
So once that's in there, in terms of onboarding, it's fairly straightforward. You do that. You can do that with your products and services. So like we have a landscaping business that has all the products they sell, the descriptions, the costs, the same with services.
Awesome.
And once you get that in, you can very easily with a couple of clicks generate anything, a quote or an invoice, collect payment. Yeah, it's built to be intuitive but very easy to use.
I mean, even if you're a small company too, and you have one of your employees go into a house, they can probably go in too and just send the invoice.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It changes from, either leaving the invoice or mailing the invoice to getting paid before you get back in your truck to go to the next job.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I bet you most people just want to get it paid and get it kind of off their plate too.
Exactly.
So that's like, I've had somebody reach out to me 3 months after I hired him to pay him, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I even owed him money.
Exactly.
And you'd rather just pay it right away. And,
yeah, people forget, and it's not you send them a message or you mail it to them. Everyone's super busy. Everyone misses an email or a text message.
Yep.
What's nice about our system is once you send it out, let's say you don't hear from them for 4 days or a week or whatever the timeline you want is. In a very clear screen, you can just go click, click, click with all your customers that have invoicing that's outstanding, and you can collect payment.
I'm like sitting there like, that would be so fun. Like one night you're home and you're like, I need some money.
Yeah.
Click, 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 and then just see it come in.
I'm going on vacation. Yeah, I'm going on vacation. All these people haven't paid me in 90 days. Let's collect
some money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the site sounds like it's the platform, like super intuitive, but there's some people out there that are still, we talked about this off air, and probably have their paper folder and this is their client list. How is there help if they need help?
Yes.
Getting up and running.
Yes. We have a very small team, but I think what we do a really good job of is helping people get up and running with it. It's, all my customers have my cell phone number. If they need anything, they call me. If I'm not available, someone on the team will help them.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And we do a good job because we have to. One is we're not going to be successful if our customers aren't successful. Yep. And, whatever trade you work in, it's such a small community where other people.
Yeah.
And so most of our business is referral business. So we're going to go above and beyond to get someone stood up on the platform, make sure that, they know how to use it. If they have anyone on their team, they know how to use it. But honestly, it's maybe a call or two. And then after that, we rarely hear from people. It's pretty easy to use.
That's amazing. You've talked about landscapers. What are some other industry businesses that are good for the platform?
Yeah, I would say any like HVAC, electricians, plumbers, any like tree care. Roofers, cleaners as well. We have like commercial cleaning or home cleaners can use it. Anyone that works a home service business where they either have existing clients or they're serving net new clients and there's invoicing involved.
So that's pretty broad.
Yeah. And like we'll customize it a little bit for customers that need one specific thing, but for the vast majority of them, it works incredibly well. Just the platform as is. Yeah.
I bet you would even work for babysitting. If you're a babysitter, you need to collect some money.
Yeah, we had a babysitter actually out of New Jersey reach out recently.
Really? Yeah. That's so funny.
It was a
that would be really fun to click through and just get paid.
Yeah, I've never heard of this. It wasn't a babysitter. It was a someone who comes in if you have a baby that helps like train how to sleep train. Yes, one of those. I had never heard of it. I was like, yeah, if you're doing invoices, like we can help you with that.
Yeah, they'll like stay overnight and help your baby, like so that you don't have to listen to your baby cry and feel bad and take
exactly.
Your baby. Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing, but it is.
There's a thing for everything. Yeah, you will discover, especially in this business.
Yeah.
Do you require a contract?
So we leave it up to our customers. We have they can pay month to month if they want.
Yeah.
Or they can pay for the year up front. We give them a little discount if they do that. But what we found is. We charge a relatively low price for using the software.
Yeah.
And just the amount of time alone, it saves people. It's well worth it. But, if you're late on invoicing or, you can't get a hold of people, that's worth its weight in gold.
Oh my gosh, the time, the saving of time, but also the collecting of the money.
Yeah. Another thing we do is we integrate with QuickBooks. Most people have QuickBooks. So we save accountants a lot of time as well.
Great.
If they're doing, the tax work at the end of the year and they get a big box of papers and they got to sift through that, no one wants to do that.
No.
With our system, as soon as an invoice is paid with Service Buddy, that information gets pushed to QuickBooks. It gets
Awesome.
updated, and everything's kind of all on the same page.
So we got to find an accountant that like works with like plumbers and does like multiple companies.
Yeah.
So start thinking, people, while you're listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything else you want the viewers and listeners to know about Service Buddy?
Yeah, I would say, we've been around. I started the business last year. There's a ton of features that we're going to be rolling out probably within the next couple of years. But, our goal is to take somebody who, has a growing business, is feeling the pain of one of two things. One is they're spending time on the business. They're working all day, and then either at nights or on the weekends, they're working through, invoicing or catching up on the business. We can save you literally hours. That's the first piece. And then the second piece is, if you have customers that are paying late, or, you just have unpaid invoices that you have trouble kind of tracking down and collecting payment, we can help with that. We want to make your business super easy to do business with. So when you go to your customer, it's a very easy experience, and they call you and then they refer you to other people they know. So one of those two pain points, I think we solve very well.
We've often said to businesses, like, you could be really good at making cake. It doesn't mean that you're good at every aspect of the business. So when you can kind of find a system to help you with some of these things, it's worth the investment.
Totally. And, we, those are kind of the main features we have, but we also have things like we can help kind of guide your business to figure out, are you quoting too low or too high, ultimately to win more jobs.
Yes, interesting.
You ask people, how many quotes do you send? Well, one, how long does it take you to send out a quote? With our system, it's literally a couple of seconds, and it's branded to your business. But then how many quotes do you send out that are converted to actual jobs that you get paid
interesting.
on? Most people don't know that question. Our software can determine that and give you like actionable feedback to say, hey, if you do this, this, and this, you can win more work. So that's super helpful.
Also, if you're a homeowner and you are looking to get something done and you reach out to multiple companies and somebody sends you a quote quickly and then you're waiting on other people, you're probably going to go with the guy that sends you the quote quickly because they're dependable, and you're hoping if you hire them, they're going to show up on time and do the work.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone has had that experience with, any sort of service business. It's like, wow, that was a great experience. And, next time, your friend or family says, hey, does anyone know somebody who does this? It's the first business you're going to recommend.
Absolutely. It's so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is so exciting. You must be thrilled that you're like publicly talking about the company now.
It's been a ton of hard work for sure, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And, it's good to see, like, when you're working with customers, like actually helping them, save hours in their day, or, helping them earn a little bit more money. It's 100% worth it. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Anything we can do to help.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. This is fantastic.
And what's your website? We'll put it in the posting too, but
so the website is www.servicebuddy.io.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Danielle. This was awesome.
Thank you. And thank you all for listening or tuning in to Chamber Chat. I want to thank our platinum partners, Jeanne d'Arc Credit Union, Enterprise Bank, the Mass Higher Greater Lowell Workforce Board, TMI Properties, and the residences at the Franco for their support. And thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back again soon.